Have you ever woke up in the middle of a dream and the dream was so interesting that you wanted to go back to sleep to see the end of it? If so, what was the dream? I had a dream where I was a criminal being executed. In the beginning of the execution, the platform fell forward and the people executing me died and I was still alive. Since you have a red-haired pirate's Jolly Roger, I'm guessing you watch One Piece, so maybe you were reliving being Luffy back in Locktown when he almost died but lightning struck the execution platform and it fell and he was saved. You know, I didn't think of it like that. Cool. This would make a fantastic subreddit. /r/Dream Detectives, Reddit link. I like this idea. I made it into a thing. If anyone wants to mod it, LMK. You were at Helgen. Had a dream about a book series that I am 99.9% sure doesn't exist. Been researching a lot, so I am planning on writing it. I had a dream a long time ago that had a song in it that I've never heard, and I'm pretty sure doesn't exist. The whole premise of the dream itself was totally bizarre. In it, my sister was getting married, but instead of a wedding ceremony they were shooting a music video. The song was playing in the background while my sister and Bill were doing this strange dance. I can still remember the lyrics, "I'll do what I say what I feel." It's so hard to be real. I spent the next few weeks on Morpheus trying to find that damn song to figure out what it was. It still eludes me nearly 20 years later. It's so hard to be real. I think your dream people are sentient. Adding that to my list of irrational fears. Added it to my list of irrational fears and put a star beside it. If one of your dream people kills you in your dream, they wake up in your body instead of you. Go with him. Lyrics aren't the same, but that's all by Genesis? Not quite. I know that one pretty well. The song in my dream was a modern rock/goth song. It sounded like New Order, Depeche Mode, and Type O Negative teamed up to make it. Thanks though. That must be one awesome song. I know. I really want to hear the rest of it. I kind of want to see the music video too. It was really messed up, not like that. I have so many questions about it. Why did it start storming outside when the music started? Why did my Bill's hair fall out? Why did they have a picture of two of my childhood friends whom they'd never really met, and why did their heads keep getting more deformed every time I looked at the photo? What in the heck did I eat that night before I went to bed? Lol. It is your destiny, good luck. 10 years later, this thread will be uncovered and used as a source in the Wikipedia page. Smiley face, user Fox pretend. If you actually write it, I'll proofread it for you if you want. Reddit link. Yo, add my name in the mix. Same. Me too. We will be the first one to go through the future New York Times bestseller. You go up. Is the book series about a guy who dreams about something that doesn't exist? Watch out, there's another character in the dream who wakes up and tries to publish the story first. Was watching a football game on the yard outside of my childhood home. One team featured Fraser Crane as the star player. The other team's star was Jesus Christ, wearing a white gown and sandals. Jesus was unstoppable. He ran a sweep to the right on every play, and once he hit the corner, he was gone. A touchdown on every play. Fraser Crane would throw a touchdown pass to a cousin of mine on every play. The dream ended before the game was over, so I would have liked to continue watching to see if anyone ever could tackle Jesus or sack Mr. Crane. Did he score a Hail Mary? Who was up when you woke up? I can't recall, unfortunately. Few years ago I had a dream where Donald Trump was competing for the starting QB job for my Cleveland Browns. In pads or a suit and tie? Trying to visualize this. Had pads and a helmet. As funny as that sounds, I can only imagine full suit and tie with just a helmet, and it's even funnier. I was stranded on an island. The dream felt like it lasted several days, so I wanted to go back to sleep and see if I survive or not. I actually did see the dream again. I survived and escaped on boat, and I found a giant cargo ship. I remember me screaming, "Hey, boat," over and over, and then it cuts off to me just walking around on the boat. Pretty odd. but it was very interesting. I absolutely crave returning to the same dreams on other nights. I think it's happened twice where I willed myself to see the woman I had made up in my dream, and another time where I absolutely didn't want it to happen when I was having nightmares about Medusa. As a kid, I had the same dream 3 times over a different period of time. But each new dream told more than previous. I was levitating in my childhood home at the corridor, head turned to the kitchen in the middle of the night. I was in the same corridor standing. Suddenly I started to levitate in the same position towards kitchen. Then I stop in the same place as before and I hear something in the kitchen. I was in my room, and heard TV in parents' room, and there was a very long single TV ad. I've decided to check it and went into the corridor. Same thing happened as in number 2, but this time the sound was getting closer and I felt something was breathing near my head. Maybe it was your mom coming to say goodnight to you and you just subconsciously picked it up? Parent carried them to bed seems likely too. No matter what, don't finish that dream. It can only lead to fear. Or a good night smoochie from the sleep paralysis. There's a comic something like this that I can't find, but it goes like this. Can someone please locate it? Sleep demon creeping up side of bed. Me, grab sleep demon's hand. What are we? Those dreams where you wake up before it got too scary but you knew it was about to turn into a nightmare hell. This is why, as a kid, I learned to wake myself up from dreams. No idea why, but lucid dreaming comes naturally for me. Since as long as I can remember, I become aware of the fact I'm dreaming. At some point it was a surprise to me learning other people don't naturally do this. The downside is I often would wake up in another dream, the cycle repeating, until finally I would wake up too terrified to go back to sleep. Tip: if, for whatever reason, you are in a nightmare and become aware it is a dream, or are unsure, try to open your eyes as wide as you can. Struggle with it. Eventually you actually open your eyes and wake up. Me too. Sometime, just suddenly I realize that I'm dreaming. One time, I was in a car in the dream, of course, and I was like, oh, I'm dreaming. The idea of lucid dreaming to me is so magical, like you can do whatever you want. I remember first thing I do was open the door of a running car and stick my leg out of it. I got so excited I woke up. It was frustrating as F. Not fly but stick out your leg? I sometimes have done the same except with men. It is like you crave the understanding and connection you don't get in real life. I suppose it makes sense though if this all comes from your own mind laughing out loud. I remember I once had a dream that spanned multiple canonical days too, about a week, although it was a trip to Europe with my family and family friends and kidnapping and murder got involved along the way. I was very relieved when I woke up, but it was strange feeling like I had lived a week all in one night. Dreams are weird. Returning to a dream nights apart happens to me too. Sometimes a different plot but in or around the same place my mind created a while ago. Like my subconscious has an internal map composed of mixed variations of actual places I've been to. Same, I have this dream that reappears every few years, but it's been over 3 years since my last one. It's like I am chased by a cloud of black smoke and I have to hide somewhere in the city. Every time I find myself in that dream, I still have the memory of the last one, so I strategize each time, like oh, hiding in a restaurant kitchen didn't work last time, let's go into the mall instead this time. It's pretty terrifying though, nightmarish. You've dreamt Cast Away. Did you have an imaginary friend named Wilson, too? No, I survived all on my own. It was a small island. Basically enough room to fit a small village. Any dream about falling in love? I once had a dream about reconnecting with my first love, and it was going great, but then I had the thought that what if it was all a dream? Then I woke up, all distraught. I felt awful, but then there she was, and we were back together. It was so uplifting, until I actually woke up. What a way to play with your own emotions. These ones hurt. I sometimes have those trick reality dreams, after a more fantastical dream. So I'll have the weird dream, wake up from it, then go through almost a whole day, and it's so mundane and realistic and normal, that when I wake up for real I'm like again? I'm actually exhausted from my fake day. When I was in high school I had a dream that I was late for school and my dad woke me up hurrying me. I jumped out of bed, got changed, ate in a hurry, and when I was about to leave, My dad actually woke me up and the first thought was, oh, for F's sake, I'm already tired of getting ready for school in my dream and now have to do all over again. The day before my high school finals, I dreamt I got up, signed in, did the test and aced it. I was triumphantly getting up from my seat at the end of the 2 hours when I heard the beeping of my alarm. I distinctly remembering trying to grab my desk to stay asleep and make the dream real as I got dragged back to reality. Oh no. That's way worse. First day for senior year, I had a dream that I was moving in for college, checking into my dorm, signing up for classes, seeing a cute guy down the hall, etc. Then my alarm went off and I had to scramble to get up at 5 a.m. for another year of high school. Felt like a deflated balloon. I've had this exact same dream too. I woke up to my alarm while I was sitting on the bus, bored as hell in my dream. It just felt like, damn, I need to do all that again. Crap. I remember I had one of these dreams in college. I dreamt about a completely mundane day in amazing detail. In my dream, I woke up, got ready for class, took my final, the last one of the term, and had a relaxing day not having to worry about the final I just took. Then I woke up for real. Except I woke up late and had to run across campus to get to my final on time. And it did not go as smoothly as I had dreamt it would. When I woke up and realized I still had to take my final, I was crushed. My dream was so vivid, it really was like I lived another amazing day and then reality struck. I tend to get extremely vivid dreams when I take a tolerance break from marijuana. Like, movie realistic, I remember everything. It's not just abstract thoughts or blurs, but something that feels like a real memory. I had one very similar to what you're talking about. The first girl I really thought I fell in love with and I were on our honeymoon on the beach, just loving life and playing in the waves. I threw her once and looked up to see a giant wave coming and absolutely destroying me. I woke up in bed panicking, then realized I was just at our home and that the honeymoon had been a dream. But I still had the ring on my finger. I went downstairs to start making breakfast, and as she came down the stairs I glanced at the clock in the kitchen, and then everything went black. I woke up in my bed alone because we broke up like 10 years ago and haven't seen each other in years. Crap, that hurt. It really hurt. It had all seemed so effing real. This reminds me. When I used to smoke, I don't remember any dreams. But when I used to take a tolerance break and now that I have stopped smoking completely, I can actually remember dreams again, and they are also very vivid. I love dreaming now. Yeah, from what I understand, marijuana suppresses dream recall. It's very common for those quitting to experience very vivid dreams. I use it as a form of self-medication, so I very rarely remember my dreams. I do truly love dreaming, but the trade-off is worth it for me. Sometimes that can be a pro. PTSD and any other unwanted intrusive dream. How do you know this isn't a dream? The scary simple fact is deep down you don't. Someone will have a better memory than me, but there was a story shared on Reddit a few years back about a guy who was hit by a car and essentially lived about 3 years or so in a dream state. In that time he got married, had a kid, all that. He said one day he was staring at their lamp in their living room and he couldn't help but think it was weird. He didn't go to work. His dream wife was getting concerned. Then suddenly the lamp kind of expanded light that ended up with him waking up in real life post-car accident. He said it really messed with his head. He essentially had PTSD and had to mourn the dream life he created. He had a wife and 3-year-old child and suddenly he didn't. If anyone reads this comment and remembers it, please share. I'd honestly love to give it a read again. Edit. Thanks for all the replies. It seems I was misremembering a few things. Many people linked the story below and shared their own experience. Crazy stuff. I've read that story before, but don't remember the link. On the other hand, I have had a drug-induced hallucination that was somewhat similar. I was a young girl who lived with her mother in early 1900s Paris. I swear to God, I was this girl. I remember waking up every day and helping with chores. I remember her walking me to school. I remember helping make dinner, and the taste of fresh bread from the baker. I even remember bathing and having to help do laundry because of course there was no washing machine. It was like living months as this young girl. Long enough to truly think that I was her. I could describe the routine as easily as my real life. I had deep, emotional attachment to the woman I thought of as my mother. It was the single most amazing and realistic experience I have ever had that wasn't real. When I came back to myself in bed, I didn't realize what was going on. I really didn't. When I finally understood what had happened, I felt legitimate emotional pain. This deep sense of loss for a mother that never existed, for friends that I would never see again, for a life that wasn't mine. For the record, I'm a late 20s male who grew up in Midwest America. My brain had to be working overdrive to come up with something like that. Years later, I had another drug-induced hallucination where I was standing in the rain, and the raindrops had frozen in time. In every single drop, I could see a miniature reflection of different lives I might have lived. I distinctly remember seeing that little girl in one of the drops. I really felt this, particularly that last section about the different lives you could have lived. It reminds me of Sylvia Plath's passage in The Bell Jar about the fig tree. If anyone hasn't read that beautiful passage yet, I saw my life branching out before me like the green fig tree in the story. From the tip of every branch, like a fat purple fig, a wonderful future beckoned and winked. One fig was a husband and a happy home and children, and another fig was a famous poet, and another fig was a brilliant professor, and another fig was E.G., the amazing editor, and another fig was Europe and Africa and South America, and another fig was Constantine and Socrates and Attila and a pack of other lovers with queer names and offbeat professions, and another fig was an Olympic lady crew champion, and beyond and above these figs were many more figs I couldn't quite make out. I saw myself sitting in the crotch of this fig tree, starving to death, just because I couldn't make up my mind which of the figs I would choose. I wanted each and every one of them, but choosing one meant losing all the rest, and, as I sat there, unable to decide, the figs began to wrinkle and go black, and, one by one, they plopped to the ground at my feet. Reincarnation memories are pretty neat. I'm not really a spiritual person. I wish I could believe in reincarnation, but my mind just won't let me. You beat cancer and went back to the carpet store? The red lamp story on Reddit is actually a couple years older than Rick and Morty. I dream about scrolling through Reddit memes, yes. Sounds like the most wonderful dream. I don't get enough Reddit memes when awake, might as well do it when asleep. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.